that's what I'll do over here on this one I just carved for you. Draw it. Now remember, these aren't ever straight. These got curve to them. Some of them have a double curve, which is actually even better. And come back and take a little slice right beside it. Pop that out. And that accentuates and makes that, throws a shadow naturally. And carving's all about throwing shadows so that you can see it. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to do one more leaf here. I think I'll do this big leaf right here for you. And that's one I'm probably going to have to start out and use the smaller one a lot because I got smaller leaves. Now I'm following my line I made very carefully. You notice I got two hands on the tool. You need to do that so that you got good control and you don't slip and cut something off that you don't want to. Alright, here we go. Come down in there and meet that in the ditch. Now you notice this area right here, that's, you're going to have to take all that out. And you just about have to do it from two sides because, like I said, I want to keep this little edge right here. So I got to get around there. And now you could at this time drop back with a bigger tool if you wanted to, but I'll just do it this way. Just very carefully chip that out. Come back the other direction so I can keep that roundness right there. Then I might just go ahead and take like a number 7. Just take this part out right here. Okay. Remember, I'm trying to take this whole level down to about 1/8 of an inch for now. And then when you take the V tool to it, you'll actually lower it even more. And that will give you plenty of depth on that leaf. Now I've got to do this same thing right here. Got that little roundness I want to keep. Just very carefully chip that off and come back the other direction like that. There we go. Got another little area right there. Got this. Yep, this area right here. I'm sorry if this is looking awkward, but if it's looking awkward for you to see, you can imagine how awkward it is for me to try to carve in this position. But we'll get it. And I've got another one right here. This one I'm going to have to be careful because if I don't, I'll end up messing up my nose. And I don't want to do that. Very carefully get it down. And to come back and kind of smooth it out and fix it. Got a little deal right here got to take care of. Very carefully. I'm not getting in a hurry. I'm not trying to take very much wood at one time because I don't want to mess this thing up. Now as you carve these, you're going to knock some of these edges off. Don't worry about that. How many times have you ever seen a leaf that's perfect? So if you knock a little piece of it off, don't worry about it. Knock a big piece of it off, you can get a hold of it, glue it back. Okay. Alright. Now about got this where I want it. And if you looked at it, the bottom is not perfectly smooth, but it is dished out. And then once again, I'm going to come back and get my V-tool. You can use a 1/4 inch V-tool if you don't have a smaller one like this. It's not going to hurt anything. Now I'm letting that cut in pretty deep, actually, because I want a good deep channel running down there, and it also makes it show up better. Right there. Come out here and get me one right here. Now I'm keeping, these are an S-type curve. You could come back, and I guess I could come back, draw your line so it kind of comes over and down and then kind of turns back. There's that S curve. Kind of same way here. Over here you don't get as much of an S curve. Okay. Come down right here, turn back in, get back in the groove right there. Turn down, turn back to the branch, or not the branch, but the the way that the vein is flowing up the leaf. And I hope you can see that. No, you can't. Okay. I'm trying to turn that where you can see it better. Maybe right there. You can see that I've created some depth. I've got nearly a 1/4 inch by the time you get down to there. And that makes a good looking leaf. And you'll just go around the whole carving doing that same thing. And like I said, as you do it, you'll undercut. You got an upper leaf here. When you get to doing this leaf here, you'll undercut it and clean it up as you go. And then come back, and once again, we can do this once again. And cut me a line right down the center of that leaf, like so. And I'm going to come back and just cut a sliver, and that will make that line even a little deeper and make it show up better. There you go. Alright. Make those lines deeper and show up better. Sometimes you may have to cut it 2 or 3 times to get it to do what you want. Like so. Be careful doing this, and in fact, I meant to wear my glove. You probably ought to have a glove when you're doing this part, because it's easy to slip, and it would be easy to cut yourself. So when you see me in a minute next time, I will have my glove on. Okay. And there's what that leaf's supposed to look like. Let's see if I can get you a better picture. There it is. So you can see all these veins I've cut in. You have to do a little picking, a little cleaning up. But that's what you want to do. And you just go ahead and do all the leaves that way. Be careful. Take your time. Make sure your tools are sharp before you start doing this, because this is basically detail work, and you need to have really sharp tools to do this. If you don't know how to sharpen your tools, either go to somebody and learn, or take them to somebody and let them sharpen them for you. Don't frustrate yourself with the old tools. When I come back in a minute, this is all going to be basically all the leaves are going to be finished. I'll have all my undercutting done, and then we'll start carving these eyes. Now these eyes, I'm going to go through this pretty quick. If you haven't gone and looked at my eye tutorial, you can look at it on my blog site at 3carvingswoodcarving.com, or you can go to 3 Crosses Wood Carving on YouTube, and they're there. There's a 30-minute video how to carve eyes, or you can buy that video. But I'm going to go through the eyes fairly fast. Okay. Now one other thing before I go though, you'll notice what I did back here. See what I did here? I started cutting all this down right here, so that it makes a good clean leaf. And I hadn't done it here yet, but the way you do that is any way you can, basically. But you start carving it down like this. You got to be careful, and a lot of times it's actually better to not quite get all of it done, but to get it pared down pretty good before you start hollowing out those leaves, because if you're not careful, you'll break those leaves. And it's better to do a lot of this, the major part of this, before you start dishing out your leaves. And you just work your way down. Sometimes you use a knife. You'll find out later on that you may have to use a gouge to get in here to get these leaves. But this makes the carving look a lot better. I mean, when you're looking at it, let me show you here. When you're looking at it this way, if you get this out of the way, then that's a nice clean line, better than what you got right here. Okay, see how that is? So you're going to have to take this down. I'm not going to show all of this, but I am going to show you the way you can get started. You have to be careful on the side, because pretty quick you're going to cut your leaf off if you're not careful what you're doing. Just carving this down. You can carve it that way, you can carve it that way, whatever works. Power carve it if you need to and have to. There's times when a very small burr would come in handy when you're doing this. Okay, I'm just working it on down. So you have to be careful, because see right there I'm starting to run out of room, so I can't cut that like that very much. Be careful, take your time, work this on down, get that material out of your way, like so. See, I can take that knife and I can kind of come up under that and thin that down right in there some. You have to be careful though, because I'm getting thin. I don't want to cut that end of that leaf off. You can also right out here at the end just kind of round that over like so till you come up under it. And it helps to have a good sharp knife. Now see what I started doing here? Yeah, I started working that down. Then later on you'll have to come back, kind of work your way in like this, and kind of clean those areas out there so you got a good clean hole there. Okay, I'll be back in a little while.